Hi, this is Vicki from Grandma B's Junk Journals. Thanks for stopping by my channel. I am going to share a haul. I recently went to a couple of my favorite antique shops in Ohio when I was visiting down there, and I was specifically looking for antique books. So books that are at least 100 years old. I love to make journals from them, junk journals. With the goal of every single thing that is put into the journal is at least 100 years old. And these type of books are kind of hard for me to source up here in Michigan where I live. And so when I do travel, which isn't a lot, but when I do, I always keep my eyes open in hopes that I find some. So I was really looking for, like on the front cover, Victorian woman, children, just something in the, that was very vintage. So I'm just going to quickly go through them, and then I'm going to show you a book that I have created. So this one right here, now this looks in great shape, right? But if I take the cover off, look at that beautiful cover. And this, I was really looking for covers that were in good shape. This is going to make a beautiful journal, and I will be able to cut this up. This will make a great bookmark. I will use this, maybe I will make a journaling tag. So if you also love vintage books, antique books, and love to make journals, think of all the different things that you can make. So like this right here will make a beautiful bookmark as well. I will be able to cut that apart and make some different ephemera. I also look for most of these that I have ran across it anyways, they all have a nice photo here, and I've been fortunate to find just absolutely gorgeous Victorian ladies on there. And hopefully what I look for also is I hope to find a few pictures in the book that I can pull out and use, for different ephemera or tags. This one, I don't know, I'm not really seeing any, but that's okay because the cover is going to give me, quite a few different options. So there's one, and here's another one. This one is, let's see what the date is, 1914. So this has got some great images in the front that I will be able to use. More than likely I will leave these right in as pages. I do try to do that, but of course I deconstruct the book and then fill it back up. And I think this one has some pictures in it that I'll be able to use for different things here. And then the inside covers are great as well. So that was a nice find. Here's another one. I love the colors. I was just thinking this would make a beautiful Christmas themed journal. I just love it. It's in great shape. And let's see. Yes, there's that picture. I always look for those pictures in the front. Sometimes they even have a little like a tissue covering that. And this is a 1908. I find when I do find them, 1908 seems to be a popular year. So this one has some nice images that I will pull out and use for different things. There's another one. Yeah, different tags and ephemera and so forth. So that was a good find. The Bobbsey twins, I have had several of these and made journals from them. I just love this series. And this has got some nice illustrations, nice images. I will definitely use that. 1907. Sometimes I can, yep, there was one photo there. Yeah, so I'll pull those out and use them for different things to put back in, pockets or whatever. And then this is the last one. Look at that. I mean, what a love story there, right? Okay, 1907. This was $8. I mean, sometimes you can find a good deal, and sometimes they ask a zillion dollars for them. So I feel very fortunate when I run across them for a reasonable price. Okay, then I found this cute little photograph of this little boy, which is going to go perfectly in one of those journals. I like to find these in the antique mall that I go to. I always pick up a couple of these because I like to stick them inside, you know, a pocket or just in the bag itself when I sell these. So anyways, that's a nice vintage button collection. I also got this little lace doily, and this will be perfect to put, you know, maybe on the inside cover if there's one of those books that, you know, isn't in great shape. I love to use these doilies, these antique doilies or vintage doilies to, you know, just to add a little beauty to it. Then, well, before I go on and show you the last few things, I want to show you an idea of what you could do with some of those antique books. So this is one that I created, and it's closed with a lace, of course, and I love to add lots of lace and ribbons, you know, anything that just shows the history of these books. This was a beautiful cover. You know, it's worn, but it's over 100 years old. And my goal when I create these books is that everything is at least 100 years old. You know, once in a while, like this fabric, of course, that fabric is not 100 years old, but the pages itself is. You know, these are just gorgeous images. And I've kept the front page of the book. This was a 1908 book, and I've added a couple of charms, and of course those are not antique, but I did just add them. You know, I do my best to stay true to that age, and these are, you know, images from, you know, the Sears Roebuck catalog that is antique, and music sheets, different magazine. This was from a crochet magazine. This was from a calendar, just different paper. Now this paper is actually just from my stash. I think I just didn't have enough of the antique paper, and sometimes I'm gonna have to do that. I try to collect as much as I can, but sometimes I do have to add, you know, something that isn't quite that old, just to, you know, make the book big enough. But for the most part, most of these are all vintage or antique. This is from an old bird book. But I absolutely love these books, these journals that I create, and I love all of the old papers, that, you know, just the different things that I can find to include in these. I just absolutely love it. I love to do the custom books, and that way people can give me some ideas of their likes, and I can, you know, try to add those things in. Here's the start of the second signature. So anyways, this is just an idea of what you can do with some of those antique or vintage books if you run across them in your journeys, you know, whether it be antique shops or yard sales or auctions. There's another beautiful picture from this book, and I just added it to a page. It just, you know, of course it wasn't big enough to make a page of by itself, so I just added it to a piece of paper, and of course some old music sheets. And So anyways, lots of fun stuff in this book. So that is something that you can make with those beautiful antique or vintage, 50 years or 100-year-old book. Anything that you like, actually. It's just, that was my focus for this. And then I said I wasn't going to, and you know what? I did it anyways. I'm trying to scale back on a lot of my junk journaling things because I have other priorities at the moment. So I had a big yard sale, got rid of a whole bunch of stuff, and I said, okay, Vicki, don't do this again. Collection at a minimum. Well, I was looking for antique, and guess what I found? A whole bunch of antique items that I can use to create ephemera or book pages or whatever. I do not have any of these in my stash, and so when I seen them, I could not pass them up. So The American Woman, this is November 1912. I absolutely love the picture here. The images are beautiful. This would just be lovely in a frame itself, which there's a couple, this one included, that I might just do that. I will be using a lot of the images and text for ephemera making, so I'm thinking I'm gonna frame some of these because they're gorgeous. But I mean, look at these are gonna make I'm gonna have so much fun making tags and just all kinds of things. Look at that. I love this. I could just go through every single page with you, but I'm not going to. But I just wanted to introduce you to some of these just for you to keep a lookout. This is one that I'm actually going to keep everything myself. I am a quilter, and I'm thinking I'm going to make me a big book for quilting memories. I do quilting retreats with family in Oklahoma every year, and I don't do much for myself. I think I'm going to use this as a book just for me. I absolutely love this. It's just beautiful, and all throughout, I think this is in the 1930s, but the color images are gorgeous, and these are, I mean, this is hard to come by for a magazine that is this old, to have so much color in it. I just love it. So this one I'm gonna keep for myself. I don't know what I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna cut it up and make it into a gorgeous book is what I think I'm gonna do. Anyways, I haven't seen one of these before, so it is a treasure for sure. Okay, here's another American Woman, 1905, and I won't flip through it. You get the idea of the gorgeous images that are in here. So, I think that would be beautiful to frame. This one, the reason I bought it is because I have some sister-in-laws in Oklahoma that are chicken keepers, and when I seen this, I thought of them, and they wouldn't have any use for it, but I can't pass it up. It's just too cool. So February 1914, and everything is like farm related, chicken related. I might have to make them a little memory book, little journal, and I've got some pretty cool pictures of them with their chickens, and I don't know. I'll have to think of something, but I loved this, so I had to pick that one up. And here's another American Woman, August 1906. That is just gorgeous. And I'm looking forward to reading some of these articles. They're always fun to read. And then, these would make great tags. They're just the perfect size for tags. And, oh yes, another Farmer's Wife, June 1914. I don't know, I'm gonna try to get that little sticker off her face. I don't know, maybe I won't. It'll probably rip it, but if I could, that image is going to be adorable. But there's lots of cool things in here, lots of great articles, lots of stories about women and their life back in the day. So anyways, I just wanted to jump on this morning, share with you all of the cool things that I bought on my journey the last couple of days, and hopefully maybe you'll be able to get out and make some journeys yourself this summer and find some cool treasures as well. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.